It is speculation city, my friends. We are speculating. I have no inside information. Do not quote me on anything that is about to come out of this video. But my friends, the devs have dropped a lot of hints to us that we are going to receive more legendary and non-marquee characters. What could we be in store for? I am going to address in this video. Let's go.
Cubs fan?
And
Cubs fan?
and
Cubs fan?
and
Cubs fan?
and gets me mad.
All right, so like I said, my friends, today we are speculating what could be coming to us in Galaxy of Heroes. Next, I have a lot of theories, and I'm going to break this down. I've actually done a lot of research on this video to try to get it as close as I possibly could. I'm probably going to be dead wrong, but maybe I won't, and it's fun to talk about. So let me know, of course, what you guys think. So we have had a lot of hints on Reddit, and I'm showing some of these screenshots here. Carrie, in particular, from Capital Games, has dropped some hints that we're going to be receiving non-marquee. There's a lot of outrage with the marquee characters, and she addressed that, and she basically talked about how, pretty soon, which might not feel soon to us, but soon to them at Capital Games, they're going to be doing non-marquees. That was about a month ago. And so we've received Chewbacca, but it really seems likely to me, based on the language here, and you guys can read these. I'm not going to read them word for word because there's a lot there. But based on the language that is being used, I feel like the implication is we're not just getting one, but we're getting multiple legendary and or heroes, journey, etc. events. And so what legendary events could be coming our way? And the way that I want to approach that is, I think there's a few things. Instead of just stabbing in the dark what characters could be coming, let's look at this from what makes sense in the game currently, first of all. Also, what makes sense in Star Wars canon currently. What's going on in the Star Wars universe right now? What movies, what shows, etc. Those are the kind of things that these legendary events kind of tend to be linked to. What sets of characters do we have that could be used for legendaries? And then also, what sets have a character that makes sense for them and would be a legendary caliber character if they were to come? Let's divide this into two categories, my friends. We're going to look at new sets of characters we have received in the last several months first. And then we will look at existing factions we have that we have have been in the game, and which factions could be due for a legendary character in the near future. So the first new set of we've got two new sets of characters we received in the near, not too far distant past. The solo characters are the first one, and the Old Republic KOTOR characters are the next set. The solo characters, so we've got obviously the prepared characters, etc. Who would make sense to be a legendary character with the solo characters, and should you farm the solo characters? To me, it makes sense to have a legendary character, and it doesn't. The reason it makes sense to me is because this is a new set of characters, and so it makes sense from a financial standpoint to create incentive to farm those characters. However, here's why I don't think it makes sense with the solo characters. Number one, who would the legendary be? Maybe Dryden Voss. He's pretty cool, but is he really legendary caliber? I'm not convinced. Look at the legendaries we have right now. We've got Yoda, we've got Palpatine, we've got Thrawn, we've got R2, we got BB-8, we've got Chewbacca. All of these characters are very core to the story for their respective spheres. Thrawn is maybe the one that's the biggest departure, but if you watch Rebels, he's really significant in Rebels. So I just don't see it. Another reason why I don't see it with the solo characters is we don't have a faction for them. All the legendaries have been faction driven. With Yoda, we had the Jedi. Palpatine, we had Rebels. Thrawn, we had Phoenix. R2, we had Empire. BB-8, we had First Order. And Chewbacca, we had Bounty Hunters. There's no solo tag. Maybe they could be scoundrels, but then that's going to open it far beyond the solo characters exclusively. So I am not convinced that the solo characters are going to have a legendary event for now. Now, the KOTOR characters, this is where it gets interesting, my friends, because I think they do hit on all cylinders. It's a new set, so it makes sense financially. there are a lot of characters that make sense to go with those KOTOR characters that we've received that I think make a lot of sense and are legendary caliber. What I mean by, so obviously Revan's going to be top of the list, but there's also a lot of really notorious KOTOR villains that these characters could be used to unlock as well beyond Revan. You got Malik, you got Bane, you got a lot of other KOTOR characters. Maybe all of those don't connect as strongly to this set of characters. I just want to throw out there that there is more than Revan in the KOTOR universe. Newsflash. But there's just a lot there that I think is legendary caliber for those KOTOR characters, and so I think it makes sense. Now, another big reason why I think these make sense is there's a faction tag. They have the Old Republic faction tag, so they hit on all cylinders. They've got the faction tag. There are legendary characters that make sense with them, and there are newer characters that I think would make sense for them to create incentive for us to farm. All right, now looking at the second part of this, and that is existing sets that we have had for a long time. So we're going to look at every single faction in the game. Now, obviously, Jedi, Rebels, Phoenix, Empire, First Order, Bounty Hunters are out because we already have a legendary event for all of those factions. What other factions could you need to have ready for a legendary event, and why? So the first faction I'm going to look at is the Clone Troopers. To me, this is intriguing. I'm not sure if we're going to have a legendary event anytime soon, but I could see Clone Troopers used for a legendary event. I think that a character that would make sense to use the Clone Troopers for would be an Episode 3 version of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Droids. I don't see this happening. Now, again, maybe Clone Wars, maybe they could be, but who would they be used for? To me, it would make sense for droids to be used to unlock, say, General Grievous, but we already have him in the game. Maybe Droideka, maybe, but I mean, that's kind of a generic character. I'm just not sure if Droideka is legendary worthy. I'd love to have that in game, though. Can we please get some of that? Ewoks. Ewoks are interesting. A lot of people are speculating, based on what Crumb said recently, the community manager for Galaxy Heroes on Reddit, that we might be getting C-3PO. Now, here's what he said. He said, basically somebody said, are we going to get more hints? You know, these hints that they've been posting. He said, give me a few days. And then his question is, how are you with languages? And a lot of people are concluding this means C-3PO. Now, first of all, I don't think it means C-3PO. And the biggest reason for that is if that would be just too easy, in my opinion. I think that it's going to be more cryptic than that. It's not going to be a dead giveaway. Secondly, Ewoks aren't going to be needed to get C-3PO, in my opinion. Look, it's kind of a joke, right? I mean, the Ewoks think C-3PO is their god. Ha, ha, ha. It's so funny. But are they really going to be like, is it that serious that we're going to need to use them to unlock C-3PO as a legendary character? Galactic Republic is another faction that I'm really intrigued by that could be. Now, there's a lot of characters that could fit into this for a legendary, like a Padme, maybe a Senator, Palpatine, maybe a Chancellor, maybe, there's a lot of different characters that I think could fit into that. The reason why I feel like it's probably not as likely for Galactic Republic is there's just so many Galactic Republic characters that it would be, who would struggle with that legendary event? Next, we got Imperial Troopers. I could see them being needed for a legendary event, perhaps to unlock, I don't know, maybe Bespin Han, which we've seen in game now with the legendary. I think that's kind of a character I want to see. But then again, we've already got 5 Hans. Are we going to get a 6th Han? Maybe C-3PO. I think there's a new faction that makes sense. It's a bit of a stretch. It's a very loose connection. I'm not sure if I see that happening. But I don't know. Maybe there's other characters that Imperial Troopers would make sense to unlock from a legendary standpoint. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. But here's what I think could be used for C-3PO. The Jawas. Now, the Jawas and the droids, they've got a little rivalry going on. Do they not? C-3PO was personally wronged by the Jawas. Could the Jawas be needed to unlock C-3PO? They have diminished use in the game now since the mod challenges changed. And so, will the Jawas be needed to unlock C-3PO potentially? Now, C-3PO is obviously a legendary caliber character in my opinion. If R2-D2 is, C-3PO definitely has to be as one of those core story characters. Could they be used to unlock C-3PO? That makes sense, and so I'm going to say I'm intrigued by Jawas potentially. I don't see it happening soon, but I could definitely see them being used to unlock C-3PO. Next, we have got Night Sisters, which I am also intrigued by, especially because, I don't know, Night Sister Spirit is the login character for this month. Will they be needed for a legendary event, though? I don't think there is a character that comes to mind that makes a lot of sense for me to say that they're going to be unlocked with Night Sisters. I just don't know who that would be. If you guys can tell me, sell me on somebody, maybe that would be more likely. But for now, I just don't know who would make sense. But there is definitely a lot of Night Sister love in this game right now. And so maybe, I just don't know who. Now, Resistance. This is one that I'm really intrigued by. This is probably the one I'm the second most intrigued by next to Old Republic right now, because we have the Star Wars Resistance series coming out soon. We already have them used somewhat for Rey's Hero's Journey, but the faction itself is not used for any legendaries. And so I could really see them being used for a character come the Resistance series. Now, who would that be? There are characters that make sense to me. Maybe Snoke? Is Snoke going to play a role in this Resistance series? I don't know. Who's going to be the main central villain of that series? That remains to be seen. And would they be used to potentially unlock that character? I think there's a pretty good chance. So I'm pretty intrigued by Resistance, especially with the current climate in the Star Wars universe. And I think we have a couple characters that do make sense to unlock with Resistance from a legendary standpoint. Rogue One is the next faction. Really just not seeing it. I don't think anything makes sense. The movie's been a while. We kind of have all the significant characters from that movie in game. Scoundrels and Smugglers I'm going to pair together. I'm intrigued by this because I really feel like this faction could be used to unlock Jabba. Now, I know I got a little bit of grief for predicting that Jabba could be coming to the game, but hey, my friends, I stand by it. Jabba would be sweet. He's a really significant character in Star Wars. He's not, I don't know if he's necessarily, you know, legendary caliber. I don't know, but I mean, we've got a really awesome passive character in the game in Hermit Yoda. Why not have a dark side version of that where Jabba's going to be able to have just intense synergy with either scoundrels or bounty hunters, because that's kind of his function. He's the crime lord. He's, you know, he's Wilson Fisk. He's the dude who just sits there eating grapes, telling everyone to go kill people, and he's really effective at it. So I could see that happening. I'm not sure if it's going to be anytime soon, but when I look at Scoundrels and Smugglers, if they're ever going to get a legendary event, I would love to see it be in that direction. We've already kind of talked about Separatists. They are the next faction up. I could see Separatists being used also to unlock Obi-Wan Kenobi. Stay tuned for that, maybe when the Clone Wars new season comes out. And then we've got Sith and Tuskens. Tuskens, obviously, we've got only 3 of them. I don't see anything happening there, at least, you know, anytime soon. Sith are a bit intriguing to me, but we've had so much Sith attention. I don't see that making sense in game right now. So, at the end of the day, the 2 factions I think are the most intriguing right now for legendaries that you guys want to think about farming. Number 1 is the Old Republic. I really would not pass on farming them. They are farmable now. I am blitzing that farm, my friends. I do not know. I do not have any inside information on whether or not they will be used. Just seeing the progression of this game, the fact that the devs have implied that we're going to get multiple legendary events, what makes the most sense to me? Old Republic by a long shot. Resistance is probably the one that next makes the most sense to me because we've got that Resistance TV series coming out here pretty soon here in the fall. That makes sense to me as well. What are some of your thoughts of future legendary characters in Galaxy of Heroes? Let me know down in the comments below. Who are you farming? What are your predictions? Who do you think could be coming? What factions do you think could be needed? Let me know. As always, my friends, I appreciate you joining me for the video. If you have not subscribed to the channel already, go ahead and do that. Hit the subscribe button and hit notifications as well if you want to be the first to know when I'm sharing content, which I'm uploading on the regular, my friends, every Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Thanks again for joining me for the video, my friends, and as always, don't forget.
For my dead body. Sorry about the mess.